Mike Bylone, head coach of the St. Augustine Prep baseball team. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, Sully. How are you today?
Pretty good, man. I'm wide awake. I got some good sleep last night, so don't worry about it.
That's good to hear. Sometimes it's debatable whether you do or not, but I'm glad to hear that.
Well, at least we know you're listening to the show now.
Yeah.
You know when I'm on my game.
Yes, I do.
So why are you giving my boy Johnny Malatesta a beating on Thursday?
That was it was a highly anticipated game. Obviously they're a good team, and we just it was good to see. We had a tough loss against Holy Spirit the day before, so it was good to see us bounce back like that.
Yeah, how about Spirit, man? They're kind of coming out of nowhere, and they took down Mainland on Thursday night in that game at Birch Grove Park. What did you think of that squad?
Yeah, I mean, Steve's doing a great job over there. They're a very scrappy club. They got some kids there that have been with him, for a couple of years now, and they never gave up. It was we had a decent lead on them, and they came back in that sixth inning and ended up beating us. Tough loss for us. Nice win for them. But like I said, was happy the way we bounced back. But Spirits, they're gonna go pretty far this year.
Yeah, your guys must have been chomping at the bit on Thursday to come back from that loss on Wednesday, and really, that was kind of a chance for you to prove, hey, we're still the Prep. You're facing a Violent team that's been hot and had 11-12 wins coming in, so they were looking to prove something themselves, and you guys kind of said, hey, let's hold the phones a little bit here. We're still the Prep. Yeah,
and that's. And we're a young team this year. I only have 2 seniors in the starting lineup. We have a good mix of underclassmen. So, it's a good sign, for things to come, learning experience. And like I told them after Thursday, I said, listen, the greatest thing is that we're playing every day. We had a stretch of 6 games in the last 7 days. We were supposed to play Violent again last night, but obviously got rained out. But that's baseball. And the schedule was in our favor. That you got to have a short memory, and we were playing every day, and we just got back at it. So I was pretty pleased with our effort on Thursday.
Coach, tell me more about this kid, Jack Billings. Obviously had a great start to the season. Came out, I think, struck out 14 against Mainland, and has really been on a roll. Tell us a little bit more about him.
Yeah, Jack's obviously last year had a great year for us in relief. He started a couple games for us. And he's been throwing pretty well. We've been blessed. We have a couple other guys that have been doing very well for us. And we just have a lot of depth with our pitching. But Jack's been doing the job for us.
Coach, you guys are in a little bit of a dogfight here in the Cape Atlantic League American Conference, which is good. You want to be in that kind of tightly contested race going down a stretch, and a lot of solid teams in that division. Vineland, EHT's really coming on strong. What's it going to take for you guys to really compete and have a chance to win that in the next couple of weeks? Yeah,
we just got to put forth the effort that we have been in some of these tough games. EHT, we haven't faced them yet. We've seen them play. They're a very good squad. Vineland, Millville, our whole league has always been tough. You don't really have any days off, which is, that's the way I like it. That it only prepares you for the Diamond and for the state playoffs as well.
Coach, tell us about some of your other guys making an impact. You said a lot of young guys there. Maybe you haven't had an opportunity yet to really make their impact on varsity, but now they're getting their chance.
Yeah, actually, Kevin Easy, he's a junior, our right fielder. He's actually batting .500 with 24 RBIs. He's been very, very consistent for us. Jake Catalano, senior, leadoff guy. Josh Hood, junior shortstop. Jerry Peacock, sophomore, has broke into the starting lineup. He's been hitting the ball well for us, and Kevin Easy as well is 3-1 on the mound. Mike Miles is 3-1 for us on the mound, senior pitcher. So we got a good mix of young and old. That's pretty excited about this year, but is equally excited about the future of our program as well.
24 RBIs on May 6th. That's a pretty good season so far. That's more than I had my entire high school career, I think.
You're right. I looked it up. Yeah, Kevin's been hitting the ball for us. We're obviously the guys in front of him don't get on base. It's not going to happen, but he's got some big hits for us these past couple weeks.
Coach, what do you think of the entire Cape Atlantic League? It's in a little bit of a transitional phase. A lot of great players graduated last year, the year before, so we're starting to recognize some names here as we get going into May. Some of these guys a little bit making a name for themselves that we probably haven't heard of in the last year or two. A guy that jumps out to me, a couple guys that jump out to me are Jordan Sweeney of Egg Harbor Township. A kid like Pat Spina over at Holy Spirit really came on and did a great job against Mainland. So you're starting to see some guys maybe assert themselves a little bit and say, hey, now it's my time.
Yeah, and then that's what's great about high school baseball. It's cyclical. You have your big names that go through, and then then the next wave comes in, and then it's like you said, then it's their turn, and that's the joy of coaching, to see these kids grow up and progress through a program, progress through the league and stuff like that, and then move on to college. So I follow everybody, not just our guys, but everybody in college. So I mean, it's a good thing. It's a real good thing.
Yeah, speaking of college, how about Sean Mooney from Ocean City?
Yeah, he picked up where he left off in high school.
I think maybe he had a little chip on his shoulder that he didn't get drafted, and he's kind of out to prove, like, hey, I'm that kind of talent. I mean, he's been killing it up at St. John's. Yeah,
I've been following what he's doing. Yeah, and Sean, he was, you could see early on, he was just a competitor. And there's if something doesn't go in your favor, I'm sure he felt like he should have got drafted. You can go one of two ways, and like you said, little chip on your shoulder is not a bad thing, and he's out there proving it. It's good that these kids are doing well in college. It's good for South Jersey. It's just good for our league, just to see all these names, in the paper and on the internet, and it's good for our league.
We're talking with Mike Bylone, St. Augusta Prep baseball coach. Coach, how have you handled the new pitch count rule? Obviously, you have to have a lot more depth in your pitching staff this year, and it can kind of change maybe the way you manage inside a game itself. Has that affected you guys at all, or you have enough depth on the pitching staff to really absorb some of those, shorter outings where maybe you have to save a guy, maybe only throw him 49 pitches instead of letting him go another 2 innings?
Yeah, we our mindset going into the season was, we know we're going to be a young team this year. We got to win the game at hand. So let's just focus on that game. Now that we just played 6 games in 7 days, kind of changed it a little bit. We did have Mike Miles did throw a complete game against Vineland, which helped us out tremendously. But I'm looking at what we've done so far this year. We've thrown 4 guys in a game. I don't know if I've ever done that before. And it's, listen, us coaches that have been around a while, we don't really like change too much. So the inning thing was easy for us in the past, like last year, and in the past. This is just one extra thing. It's a little more work, a little more number crunching. We almost have to be like an accountant sometimes trying to figure out what all these numbers and stuff like that. But it's like I said, we don't like change, but I think I think some things need to be tweaked with it, to be honest with you. But overall, I think we'll all figure it out.
You calling up the JV coach? Hey, give me the name of 2 guys that can throw some strikes.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. And like I said, we do have a little bit of depth with pitching, but when you're playing every day, it does become taxing on you, and you really, I more than once this year I look at my card and say, okay, he can go this many pitches, or he can't throw tomorrow if he does this. So I mean, it's just an added thing that we gotta do, but we're working through it.
Also brings in kind of a new element we really haven't talked about much when you're talking about maybe bringing up a sophomore or a freshman who may not in years past have been ready for the varsity level, and now you need a guy to go 2-3 innings in a game. And how do you handle that where you kind of have to not only just throw the kid out there, but also deal with his confidence level. And you don't want to shatter a kid's confidence when he's just a freshman or sophomore, and that might affect him the next year. You want to be able to say, hey, while you want to put him in a good position where he's going to be successful, it may be a tough situation against a team like a Vineland or an EHT that has some established hitters.
Yeah, no question. I've seen it and I've experienced it both ways, where you're in a jam and you got to bring a young kid in, and like you said, you try to put them in positions where they're going to succeed, especially at a young age. And then there's some kids that have to just get thrown in there in situations that you need them, and see how they handle it. We threw one of our young guys, Cole Vanderslice, sophomore, against Malvern a couple weeks ago. Malvern, obviously a national power, and they're good, and it was more of a let's see what he can do, and kind of a learning experience thing. But yeah, like you said, sometimes you're thrown in that situation where you need to put him out there, and whether if they excel, fantastic, and if they don't, it's all learning experience to help you down the road.
Put it towards your master's in psychology, right?
Oh yeah, actually a minor in psych. I'm 2 classes short of a major in psych, but.
Good stuff, Coach. We're up against the break here. Got to let you go, but always enjoy talking some baseball with you, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Sully. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Have a great weekend.
You too.
That was Coach Mike Bylone, St. Augustine Prep.